Welcome to the Totally Awesome Fishing Show, where we're over in Ireland and we're going to be fishing for one of the favourite species I like catching. Sea fishing, saltwater fishing, it is the bass. Now, bass is a fantastic eating fish, and that of course puts it under a lot of pressure commercially because people like eating them, so the commercial people like catching them. They're high value fish, but they're just the epitome of everything that a fish should be in a predator. Big spiny dorsal fin, great big cavernous mouth, beautiful solid silver scales, beautiful looking fish, but they're not always that easy to catch. Now, one of the best ways you can catch them, I find, in a small boat. Yes, I know I love small boat fishing, but in a dinghy they can be really great fun because you can take a dinghy right in close to the rocks in skinny water, shallow water, 5, 7, 8 feet deep, which you can't get to with a charter boat. So you're fishing an area that A, you might not be able to reach from the shore, you might not be able to climb down to cliffs around the shoreline, and B, you can't get a big boat in there. Not only because of the depth of the keel, the boat is generally too big, but the noise from the engine, the big thrumming diesel engines, it's going to put those bass down big time. The other problem you got, yes, weather, winds, tide, moon, bait fish, it goes on and on. Anyway, I'm going to give it a shot. I'm over here on the southern coast of Ireland, where Mark and Patricia Gannon do some self-drive hire boats, nice little small boats, 8 horsepower on the back, you know, just a small Yamaha 8 horsepower on the back, 16-foot open boat. I'm going to do it on my own. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to get on. This is the tackle I'd like to introduce you to. Now, I'd like to introduce you to 2 very close friends of mine. Please meet Mr. and Mrs. Stupid. Yes, that's what I call them. This one, drop that there, is Mrs. Stupid, a 2-piece rod that I purchased from Kmart in Florida for my son Michael at the age of about 7 to catch bait fish from, so that I could go and catch some giant tarpon. $4.99, it's about £3 with the rings. The reel's just a regular Shimano bait runner, light one, about 30 years old. £15 line. I think it's actually, I spooled these up and I put £12 line on those. So this is Mrs. Silly. Mrs. Silly is very, very light. Mrs. Silly thinks she can catch a fish of £4. She's designed for things of half a pound. That's Mrs. Silly. In the meantime, down here is Mr. Silly. Mr. Silly is a child's rod that I found in a skip in Ireland many years ago and repaired. It bends, well, a little bit more than Mrs. Silly, but Mr. Silly has delusions of grandeur. Mr. Silly thinks he can catch anything. Metal rings, the old-fashioned metal ferrules there. Exactly the same bait runner with some £12 line on it. Well, the only backup I've got in case they go wrong is, that's right, this one. This one's called Mr. Stupid. This is a snapped off carp rod that is a bit heavier than Mr. and Mrs. Silly, but which does exactly the same thing. I glued the top half of a carp section in the bottom half of a winch fitting. I've got a fishing rod. Put an old Shimano TLD5 on there. Don't even know if you can get these anymore, but nice little small lever drag reel. I'll keep that one as a backup. There we go on there. Terminal gear, what do you need? You need some of these. And these are artificial rubber sand eels. They're called red gills. Been around for probably 40 years. Now that's all they are. It's just a rubber imitation sand eel. But what they do have, relatively recent years, they have a curved baffle tail, and that helps it to wiggle. This tail wiggles backwards and forwards like this at a slower speed than the original red gill, which had a straight cut in the tail. So the baffle tails like this are curved. I think that's probably all they make now, and they're really, really good for pulling at slow speed. Now what you do is you take the hook out, you thread your leader, which I'm going to be using about 15 pounds, 6 feet of 15 pounds, through there, right through the nose. It goes through the nose and it comes out at the base just here. Then it's dead easy, just tie your hook on. That's the old-fashioned original hook there, because I love using these old ones. I'm going to run out soon, I'll be really crying. And it's got a little curve on it, so that curve and the spike at the top stops the hook pulling up too far in here, so it slides down. Let me just show you. So basically I threaded my line through, tied the hook on, and I put the hook back in, put it all up nice and neat and straight, and it must hang straight, it must swim dead straight. It's no good if you have a bite and it pulls around at a curve like this, pulls it around the shank, because then it's going to rotate like this, it's going to spin, put all twists in your line. You don't want that. So it must sit just nice and neat like that. Now the other ones you do, or a modern one made by Red Gill, these got an integral weight part of the hook there, so you don't have to thread it through the nose, you just tie it straight on under here. I think these are called Evolutions. They got that curved tail, but for some reason the curve now is put up the other way. If you look, this one is hanging down, this one is facing upwards. Who knows why? I don't design them, I just fish with them. Don't like these ones so much. These ones are okay for fishing out of wrecks and deep water. You can probably cast with those as well, or I've cast with them actually off the shore. Not the world's greatest casters, because obviously the shape and the size gives you a lot of wind resistance. But if you can get the old, you know, the really old-fashioned ones with the Red Gill tail down and no weight in them, because you're going to be pulling these trolling through very, very shallow water. Now I'll just give you my bass tip. You guys are YouTube, you won't tell anybody, will you? The best bass colour I have is A, black, and B, these small ones. I don't even know what colour they are, but they come in package. You can buy them in jumbo package like this. This is the smaller size one, the miniature one. That's very, very good as well. So all we do is tie them up, put them on, add water as they say. Now for trolling, a lot of people go casting. Everybody's lure mad, casting, casting, casting. So you think either anchor the boat or drift the boat. No. What I'm going to be using is a technique called whiffing, W-H-I-F-F-I-N-G. It's Cornish, it's years old. It consisted of putting a live sand eel about 100 yards behind the boat, just a single hook, one swivel, and trolling it along slowly with the boat just in gear. I've incorporated that to the rubber sand eels, to these ones, and I've had a lot of success, a lot of flies around here too. Probably because I'm kneeling in a manure heap. Phew. Soldier on. When you go trolling, you want a nice quiet motor. Something like a Yamaha that's very, very quiet, and it is a proper trolling motor. You're going to be pulling lines behind the boat. Generally I fish two. I might put one down the middle, which we call a shotgun. Far back, one at say, I don't know, 40, 50, 60 yards, the other one 20, 30 yards back. And you're just pulling them just enough to make these tails on these Red Gills swim. Not thrashing all over the place violently. The bass aren't stupid. They know that's not right. They won't take it. It's got to be just swimming like this. Now, not many people do this method, and I've been coming into Ireland for years, and I've been using it for the bass. Inshore, I can take the boat, because I've got steerage, don't forget, right in tight, close to the rocks, right where the bass are hunting. You can almost reach places that the other guys can't get to. I'm all excited now. One final tip. I'll tell you about my secret anti-weed device. Now, this is so simple it should be banned. All you do is you just get your Red Gill on one end of there, do a double span like this, maybe 6 feet that is, come to the other end of your line and tie a number 10 barrel swivel. I'll use a black one, I don't like a silver one. A black barrel swivel, thread your rod up through the line, tie it to the other end of the swivel. So you've got your fishing rod like this, pull the line out the end, throw it in the manure heap, tie it onto the barrel swivel, 6 feet or 15-pound mono, a Red Gill. That's all there is to it. Now what happens is, as you're trolling along, if you get pieces of weed, it slides down the fishing line and generally will jam onto the swivel, leaving the bait clear. And that's what you want. If you don't have the swivel in there, that weed will slide all the way down the line, cover up the bait, even just masking it a little bit, they won't take it. So what you're going to do is put that swivel on there, not so much to stop their line twisting. It's not, shouldn't twist. If it's pulling straight like this, shouldn't twist. It's to jam those bits of weed up every so often, bring it in, clear the swivel, put it out again. That's enough chit-chat about tackle. Let's get out and do some totally awesome trolling. For bass, of course. There's something about fishing in Ireland that really does set you alight. If you're an angler, who wouldn't want to fish for bass around these rocky headlands? It is a fantastic place for big fish, and of course they got the bait fish. Just look at this shoal underneath the pontoon where we're picking the boat up from, yes sirree, a shoal of bass would absolutely blast their way through these whitebaits. Don't even know what species they are. Maybe they're baby mullet, or could they be sprats? I don't know. And look at the sandals going past the lens there. This is further out, deeper water. Look at the granite. You can see the weed. You just see sandals going through the lens there, and that's what those bass are in there for. And of course, where there's bass in Ireland, there's bass fishermen. They fish from the shore, they fish from the boats. Well, let's face it, they fish from anything in Ireland. Yes, even kayaks. What a way you can sneak out there quietly amongst those boat moors and catch bass to double figures here in Cormacsherry. Out in this beautiful little village. It's like home from home to us when we go over there. What a setting, loads of small boats, a lot of them go bass fishing. Can you blame them? It is absolute heaven out there. This guy fishing away, they're spinning there for bass. Even in a boat, you can troll around. A lot of them do, you know, casting and spinning. I like to get out there in those rental boats and reach some of the spots you can't get from the shore, close in to the rocky headlands. And these small boats that Mark Gannon runs, these little self-drive boats, are absolutely ideal for sneaking in there, getting in all the gullies, getting around the bays, headlands, around those rocky headlands. Well, basically you can sneak up on the bass, because don't forget, this is a displacement boat, so you can set the speed on those Yamahas to go really, really slow and troll the regular lures just behind the boat, and you want them to swim in. One little tip, don't go in there fast, go in there slow. What you want to do is run in and outside the coast, and then when you want to come in a little bit slower, and then you won't disturb any bass and you won't disturb any of those bait fish. And just look how close I am to the shore there. With light tackle, man, it's heaven. Okay folks, so here's the setup. I'm coming along the coastline, about 40, not even that, 100 feet, say 100 feet off in a falling tide, just about 2 hours behind the ebb, a little bit sort of later than I wanted to come out here. And the boat's just got to be ticking over. It's got a nice Yamaha. That's an 8 horse on there, which on this 16-foot open boat, this dinghy, is absolutely more than enough, because they only work on displacement. You can put a big lump on the back of there and it will still only push a displacing water amount away from the boat. It's not going to plane and skim. So what I'm doing, I've just got the boat in gear and I'm just going along nice and slow along the coastline, maybe 100 feet off the cliffs here. And I know where the bass are because I fished here years ago. Fingers crossed they should be here now. What can I tell you? I've got 3 rods out, so I'm liable to get in a big cluster. But because I'm on my own, I'm running everything on my own, trying to catch a fish for you guys, totally unaided, and film it as well. So what I've got 1 rod in the holder. Let's say it's 30 yards back. I've got another rod in the other holder, one of those light rods. It would be about 50 yards back, and I've got one which I call shotgun, just a bonus one. Now ordinarily you just fish 2 rods, that's enough. 2 anglers, you can hold them if you want. I'm better off because I'm running the engine as well. I'll put one down the centre. Now I have had bonus fish on this, and what I normally do is put the 2 full-size regulars on here and a small regular down the bottom with a sliding sink on it like I showed you early on. But they also do a regular now which has got a weight in the head. That can also, you know, help get it down. But the thing is, don't let it go too far back with any weight, because obviously it's going to snag in the bottom. I'm only in probably 6-7 feet of water. One of the problems I've got here is a huge amount of weed coming out of the estuary, where they have a sort of, I guess it's like a nitrate runoff that creates a bloom of weed in the estuary, and there's millions of tons of it. And obviously I'm on an ebb tide, so it's washed out here. Years ago, never used to suffer from this. You could come up and down this, other than the odd piece of kelp floating, no problem at all. Now it's an absolute pain. If you get weed on the lure, you won't catch a bass, you won't catch a pollock, you won't catch a mackerel. They're not completely stupid. I'm going to have to turn here. Now when I do the turn, I do it in a big loop. I'll try and do this as I show you. I'm going to crank him fast, nice and fast, so the lines don't cross. If you make too tight a turn, as you turn the boat, the lines cross, spin up, you're done. That's it, toast, forget half an hour tackling up again. So it's much better, I find. Bring them in, check for weed. I just speed crank them in like this. You're not going to get hit like this at this speed, only a bonito or a tuna. Crank them in like this and then make the turn. I'll show you how I do it. Pretty difficult in this environment actually. I'm trying to film in a dinghy and I'm balancing that nice expensive camera up on the tripod, so I've got to make sure I don't wobble it too much. Okay, so I'm out of the kill zone now. I'm going to crank right in, check the baits, and then I'm going to make the turn, but I'm only putting my lures out when the weed's clear. When the weed's gone, absolutely no point. I would sooner do shorter drifts and have all this hassle of resetting the lines than putting one big long troll out and troll along and I've got weed in, just to get to the right spot, weed on the end of the line. And there, I don't know whether you can see that guys, there is, that's all it takes, just bits of weed like that. No bass, no pollock. Let's make a turn. Now, as I make a turn in the arc, I'll do it at speed to save me a lot of time, you know, running it back slowly at trolling speed. So I'm going to do it like this. Lure goes in the water, I'm going to throw a big circle in it, but I'm letting line out at the same time. So the camera doesn't go over. I'm going to keep an eye on you guys in case you fall overboard. So I'm doing my fast turn, letting the line spin out, spin out, spin out. It's just a quick way of fishing. Now I'm going to get back on the line I wanted. Coming in. Alright, I'm now going on a straight troll. Bam, line out in the knuckle, in the holder. Now, that lure is round over there on the right hand side, which means it's clear. I can run that one. I can run this one straight back. There we go. Now, this one will be straight behind you. The other one is still round, coming out of that curve. And by the time I've got this one back, they should both be running straight. It's a system I developed for working in close like this when I'm bassing inshore with this method called whiffing, which you rarely see people use nowadays. It's old school, but it does work. A bit of a chore, you know, it's a bit of a chore like all fishing now. That one can be flipping out as it goes, the line can be going out when I consider. I can even give it a little squirt, get it out a bit faster, kill the engine, flip the bail in, that's done. This one, straight down the centre. Now both lines are pulling straight now, but they're far back and they're asymmetric. One's longer than the other. Now this one I'll put back about 40 feet, I would guess, something like that. This is my shotgun, it's a bonus. Unfortunately haven't left a rod dangling down, it's gone over the side, but always keep the clicker on and a little bit of drag, and you can put something heavy on the butt if you wanted to help hold it down. Just so if you do get a hit, it doesn't take the rod over the side. Now Ireland isn't noted for huge bass, but it is noted for bass. And we might get to see one today. There we go, just enough to pull off. Now we're just coming into the awful weed again. It changes with the tide, don't forget. Right, just sit tight, nice and quiet. I mean, even this rod behind me, I need to see where I'm going here. The other way to do it, of course, is to tip the tiller, the arm up like this, and you can stand up. You can stand up like commercial fishermen do, and that's why they do it like that. Obviously, make sure you got your old life jacket, your old buoyancy aid on. And there's a lot of weed coming down. Now, there's a hit, there's a hit! Oh, I would like to get that one on camera for you. He's still there. I say this is a pollock. He's following the lure, and he's biting at the tail. Here he goes. I'm going to give it a squirt on the engine. That pulls the lure a bit faster. Almost certainly that would be a pollock. A bass generally he folds the tail and then engulfs the whole lot. Now where I'm coming into here is an area of kelpy rock. It's where the bass are, but it's also where the pollock live. Not the best conditions being flat calm. Okay guys, here's another tip. Gonna be full of tips today, I can sense it. I've come into the good zone, what I call the kill zone, of about 100 yards, no weed, good clarity, and I've already had those bangs. Missed them, Mo. Just before I come into this, you don't want to wind it all the way and check weed and put it all the way out again. By that time I'm out the kill zone. So Just give it 2 or 3 of those. You might get lucky. And if there is a piece of weed on there, it might just flick it off. Keep it clear, and fingers crossed, and it grabs it. Oh, fish on, guys. Oh, he's a thump. He's a thumper, this one. I've had 3 pollock already. I got so excited. Oh no, oh no. Have you ever had a tangle before? It's shocking. I'm trying to run 3 rods, the boat, and I've got the camera. My head camera's packed up, so you didn't get the first 3 pollock. But a fish on here, I don't think this is a bass. It just goes to show you this method does work. And on this light rod, what a scrap. Now, the other thing I'm doing is I'm getting, oh, Jesus. I think he took me in the kelp then. The other thing I'm trying to do is to try to keep it going all the time, the boat, in case I get another hit on the other lures. It's when you're fishing alone, as soon as I stop the boat, the other lures are going to sink down. I might not get the fish. I haven't seen this yet. I'm saying it's a pollock. It's a good pollock. A bit of pollock. I might have to. Oh no! 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 I'm not sure this is a pollock, guys. I'm not altogether sure this is a pollock. I'm not sure. Oh! Oh! It's a totally awesome bass. It's a bass. Now I've got to try and steer the boat away from the rocks here, from the land. I'll try and get this fish in for you. I don't know if you'll get anything. Whew. What a beauty. Oh yes, please. Now I'll take a gamble and kill the engine. Okay, I'm in neutral. Now, move this rod over. Oh man, what a sweet fish. See if I can get this one for you. Let's drag this up. Can you guys see this bass down there? Look at the beautiful blue on his fins. What a cracker. What a cracker. I think I'll get this one in the boat, people. Fishing alone is it's a little bit too nerve-wracking for me. On this child's rod, oh my God, I should be using a bass rod. I'm using a child's rod. That can't be right. It won't be right if it falls off. I'm going to look so stupid. Always take a net. Oh yes, I've got that funny man's laugh again. Oh, here it comes, people. I love it. He says falling over on all the slime on the boat. Look at this one. Oh man, it's about 4.5 pounds of prime silver. What a spanker. There's 3 pollock and a nice bass. I thought, you know, I thought that was I'm probably going to lose my other lures. It's gone right in the scissors. Here he goes, here he goes, here he goes. Here he goes, people. Why the rods don't get tangled. Feast your eyes on about 4.5 pounds of prime Irish silver bass. What a spanker. On that trolled red gill, the whiffing method I described earlier. Conditions against me. Oh, 3 pollock and a bass in an hour. What a beautiful fish. What a beauty. I'm going to put it back. That should upset a lot of bass eaters. There he goes. What a fish. That bass. Look at it there. What a beauty, eh? What a beautiful fish. They are absolutely the best fish. And there is my best, well, it's my best pollock lure, black red gill. No weights. I don't like those modern weighted ones. Oh, what, this is a really old one. That's a really old one, that one. I'm just going to lift this one because I've got no choice. And I'm going to let him go for you. Let's get this one back. Let's get him back. Hopefully you get to see it, guys. I don't want to spike myself. He's gone. Oh, a bass. A bass. People wonder why you come to Ireland. That's why you come to Ireland, pal. That's why you come. I'm on again. I've come back. On the next run down, I've got another fish. Now this time, I got snagged up with the middle rod. So I've actually put that one away. Well, I'm putting it away. I'm trying to tackle it up. And what I've done is I roped off the steering arm. So it's steered straight while I can try and tackle up, and then wham, it's gone over. I don't know what it is. I've no idea what it is. It's on the $4.99 rod. I feel sorry for tackle dealers really. When you get a rod for $4.99, you're catching bass on it. There's got to be something wrong, isn't there, with the tackle trade? So this time I'm coming. Oh no, that had the bang of a bass, guys. That had the bang of a bass. Now my other line, which I lost back up there, this second rod, I'm going to go to neutral, and that rod should just sink down on sand. At least I can fight the fish a bit better. There's some fun on these light rods, I tell you. This is the only way to go bass fishing. You can only pull so hard with a fishing rod. And if this one does the job, I'm not saying it's going to take a double thicker pollock. What is this? What is this? I just have to feed. Is that a bass? It might be a jumbo mackerel. I hate to say it. I don't know how to break this to you. It's one of those silver things. Michael's going to be furious he's not coming in on the plane for tomorrow night. Oh, here we go, here we go. Not as big as the last one, people. But now this should be telling you something. It's spelt B-L-A-C-K. Black lures, black day. Nice bass, nice bass. 3 pollock, 2 bass, and I'm just about to get spiked. Hook fell out. Just show you that one again. Oh, look at this, people, just look at it, eh? Look at that, what a beauty. Back he goes, bit of a shock. You won't see many people putting bass back. I want to get back in there again. Nobody's sussed it yet, nobody's come in on me. It's a Sunday, and normally there'd be other people coming out. I forgot my Polaroids, forgot my sun cream, forgot second-hand white rag. But I tell you what, 3 pollock and 2 bass can't be bad, can it, fishing on your own? Let's get back in there. Now, I've got either cross lines or one fisher's taken both lures, which is highly unlikely. Okay, it's not that one. I can see the lure up the line. It's a cluster, but we'll try and get the fish for you. Come on, fishing. It's just not as in neutral. I think I'm in clear ground here. If the boat's going forward, it does sort of help, and it helps hold the hook in as well. Helps keep your line tight. It's another fish on the top. It's a tangle as well. Dare I say it? Dare I say it? I think it's another naughty silver thing. Oh, it's splashing on the top. Come on, don't come on. It is one enormous cluster of lines. I may have to hand line this one, people. Oh, it's a good fish too. It's a good fish. Just twist it through. I'm gonna. Oh, he's come off. Oh, he's come off. That was a bass, by the way. I'm on again, guys. I'm on again. I don't know if you're going to get to see that down the back there, but I've got a feeling I've had another bass since then. I couldn't get the camera rigged up, so I've had 3 pollock and 3 bass. This may be bass number 4. Oh, let's get back up here a bit. You guys can get the action. Yeah, I've got a feeling that's a bass. I don't think it's a big one. That first one was a nice lunker. This is a schoolie. But they all count when they're bass. That's the main thing. And this dying weed, it absolutely honks. It really reeks around this area. It can't be good. That's definitely a bass. That is definitely a bass. Not a very big one. But listen, guys. A bass is a bass is a bass. Oh, I see that drag a bit. Just make sure they can take line, because I'm still fishing with these other rods. Mr. Greedy here is still fishing with his other two sort of outrigger rods. I just got to watch where I'm heading into the land. I'm still trying to run parallel. Being Mr. Greedy, I'd love to get a double header of bass. Wouldn't that be something? Oh yeah. Do you know what's black again? And that's on the shotgun rod. I'll take a risk and try and lead this one over for you. He said, oh, I tell you what, ladies. Is this a session or is this a session? Black red gills again. Crash, he goes into the rocks. Hang on a minute. Now, grab him around the back, just show you people. Hook pops straight out. You can hold them by the bottom jaw there like they do. The Americans do it, called it American lip lift. I just want to show you. Spikes on here, spikes on there, spikes everywhere. What a fantastic fish. What a beauty. What a session. 4 bass, 3 pollock. Haven't even started. All this in a self-drive hire boat. I'd love to see that other rod go over. Over you go, pal. Right, folks. That's the one I've not had anything on at all, and that is normally one of my best colours, a sort of bluey. It's not like silver underneath and blue on the back, which was a favourite bass one of mine. And you can just see how some of the weed on the front stops them taking. So 4 bass and 3 pollock, all on black, tells me that one has to go. And what I'm going to do is change over on the shotgun, put that on the outside, so I've got 2 big full-size black red gills on the outside, fish long, and I'm going to run this little chap, a small size red gill, on the inside on the shotgun rod. So a bit of a change around here. I feel might just give me the edge because it's getting near low water. I'm running out of time now, and the weed's getting bad, and the fog's coming in. Oh, fish on, guys. There we go. He's way back there, way back on the surface. Come on. Oh, don't say he's come off. Don't say he's come off when I messed around with the camera. What a pain. Oh no, drag's loose, sorry guys. I think the fish is still there. I think he's still there. Could be coming towards me. Hopefully anyway, he's coming towards me. Yeah, I've got him. I've got him. Oh, please be numero 5, Lumpo Silvero. I've died and gone to heaven. I might lift the camera into the net, that would be fun, wouldn't it? Right, I'm going to show you guys here. Do a bit of free shooting here. If he comes off, he comes off. You'll take my word for it. There is a fish on there. There he is. There it is. A really, really chunky old Irish bass. What a beauty. Come on, Mr. Bass. That's enough of that. Here we go, my. Oh! I'll tell you what, £4 of anybody's money, guys. £4 plus of anybody's money. That is a fat puppy. I'm going to show you this one quickly. He's unhooked himself. He's about to spike me, which I hope he won't. He's doing his best. Oh, oh, my goodness me. People wonder why I go sea fishing. Why wouldn't I go sea fishing? I love it. Especially 3 pollock, 5 bass on an instructional on how to do whiffing or long distance trolling with a rubber sand eel. Look at that, beautiful. Let's get him back for you. Fish goes between 4 or 5 pounds. You might shade 5 that one, I don't know. Do I care? I'll put 5 bass back. I must be totally mad. Oh, my beauty. God, put your fin up and spike me like that. It's not very nice. I'm going to put you back. Not many people put bass back, I can tell you. Oh, and look at the little spinning rod he's on. He loves it. Let's be careful. Let's be careful, guys. Let's be careful. It's not the underwater camera. Let's let him recover. I fear he's going to shoot off and spike me. Woo! He didn't spike me. Yes, sirree. 5 bass. Day's not over yet either. What a totally awesome session. And I wasn't the only person to be in close near those rocks. There was a kayaker, just cruising, just chilling, just taking it all in. A relaxing way to see the coastline. Until I hook him on my fishing rod, of course. Or the other fishing rod even. I don't care. I've got 3 lines out and I'm a happy bunny. And there we go, guys, a really nice pollock. Pollock number 4, bass number 5. And there we go, a fantastic session this is turning out to be. Put my finger in his mouth, I can hold him. A nice pollock there, that's a 4th pollock, 50 feet off. Whew, dinghy fishing, get some in. Well guys, it's a little bit of breeze picked up and it's balled all that weed up. It's been a real pain. I've had 10 fish now, 5 pollock, 5 bass, and this has shut me down totally. I can't pull more than about 20 yards before they get hooked up with weed. I don't think there's any bad weather, it's just a bit of fog and everything, and of course I haven't bought a compass, but I think I'll find my way back. Oh, I missed it. Just when I said there was no fish. Oh gee. That was on sand, so that's over the top of sand, that's almost sure to be a bass. And catch bass I did. I got 2 absolute crackers. These 2 I did take back for the restaurant in Mark and Patricia Gannon's guest house, Wood Point. They love eating fish there and their guests love eating fish. I was just happy to take the limit of 2 fish in. I put all the others back, all the other pollock back, and I'll tell you what, it doesn't really bother me if I even kill another bass. Maybe if I got a real jumbo, I would do. But let's just finish this session of how to catch bass by trolling from a small boat, by just enjoying some of that fantastic, absolutely awe-inspiring Irish coastal scenery. And if you ever get the chance to go sea fishing in Ireland, I thoroughly recommend it. Look, the weather's not always great, but I tell you what, when the fishing's good, it's red hot.